So you said, so I guess how was your overall life during the pandemic, Brian, for you to start this?
Yeah, it's a great question. So for me, my life during the pandemic was very hectic because I work in healthcare. I'm not a clinician or anything like that. I'm more on the operational side. But I was really involved in the redeployment efforts of getting folks where they needed to be as we kind of dealt with the first wave. I'm in New York still. I was in New
Okay.
York then and still in New York now. And so I was at a very large hospital, still work at a very large healthcare system. And so I was really heads down trying to work in that space. And I partnered with clinicians, other admin folks, executive leadership team, all of that. And I learned a lot. Right. One of the things that it caused me to really recognize was obviously, yes, some of the cliche stuff around the fragility of life and things like that. But what I happened to see was now that folks are in this space, I couldn't understand like why folks would leave their job when so much uncertainty was happening. And at the same time, I was also going through a major professional career change in that this labor pool redeployment command center, it's what we ended up doing was we ended up saving saving a few lives. And that touched me in a way I was like, oh, wow, that's maybe an impact that I can have. And so that's truthfully the feeling that I'm now chasing. I've never been able to say I've saved lives before. And truthfully, I may not be able to ever say that again. But to now, like some of the work that I'm doing now, I'm able to impact lives in a way that can truthfully potentially change people's trajectory. And so I really kind of picked up some purpose throughout the pandemic. Then on the flip, while this show started was what I was mentioning earlier around, well, now that folks are leaving, why would you leave, right? Why would you leave if some of these jobs if you are fortunate enough to be employed right now, because, the pandemic caused a whole host of issues, why would you decide to leave right now? And I learned a lot about people. I learned a lot about myself during that time because what I know is that because I didn't have much of a mental break during the pandemic, but a lot of people did. And people really use that more often than not. They use that in a very positive way. So I've actually been inspired by a lot of the folks, you see something, you want to do something, you had the space to actually do that. And now you're going ahead and you're moving forward with it. And so my show, yes, it's called Why I Left. And it does focus a little bit on why people have left their jobs. That's the hook, but it's really a show about people recognizing their own potential. It's about self-actualization. It's about overcoming fear, self-awareness. And I've had so many beautiful stories on here that it's really I just really enjoy doing this, right? So that's truthfully how I got my start.